The Alaskan Malamute National Specialty Show starts 1 week after our visit to Michigan, so rather than driving back home, then returning east a few days later, we decided to take advantage of working remotely and spend the week in Pennsylvania. We visited Mike's old home in Pittsburgh, then drove to Philadelphia where we had a great time eating hoagies, bathing doggies, and taking in a lot of American history.
Here is our very first day with experimenting with working from the road. Well, some of us are working from the road. Others are just relaxing.
It's been almost 50 years since I lived in Mount Lebanon. It's strange seeing a place after so long. Many things have changed, yet some look very much the same.
That's where my old friend Art Rooney III lived. And okay.
Don't drive by.
I have fond memories of my childhood friend Art Rooney III, whose grandfather would host us kids at what was then a fairly new Three River Stadium to watch his football team, the Steelers. It was amazing as a kid to meet the legends from that era, and it was amazing to be in Pittsburgh again.
Darwin's getting settled in, just as we are settled in for 5 days of not having to drive anywhere, not having to unload the car, working from here. There we go. Dog settled. We're going out to dinner at a real restaurant that doesn't serve French fries. Sometimes we just look into the coolest places. We stopped into this little place called Creed's, and we were underdressed for the main dining room. They offered us this cool little alcove. Really nice and very romantic, and go figure. Look at that. Go. Cheers.
Valley Forge National Park is a 3,500-acre site where George Washington and the 12,000 troops of the Continental Army camped over the winter of 1777 to 1778. The British had occupied Philadelphia, and Washington chose Valley Forge as high ground, easy to defend, yet only 1 day's march from Philadelphia. The troops scoured the surrounding area for lumber and built roughly 1,500 log huts to live in, as well as miles of trenches and fortifications. Living conditions were very difficult as the army was short provisions, clothing, and food. Hunger and disease was rampant, and over 2,000 people perished during the encampment. Yet Washington and his troops persevered and emerged in 1778 as a stronger, cohesive fighting force.
So this morning's work, we're very happy that we actually bought a hotspot because the internet at the hotel is down. Well, it doesn't seem to be bothering the dogs because they don't care about internet, they care about food. We are extremely happy we invested some money in a prepaid hotspot.
Philadelphia is known for its sandwiches, of course the classic Philly cheesesteak as well as hoagies. We neglected to take any video of the wonderful Primo hoagies we had while we were there. If you get a chance and you're in the Philadelphia area, be sure not to miss one. Yep, I will.
Not the conditioner, though. The conditioner, that big bottle takes out there.
Okay, the conditioner is the stuff in the big bottle, right?
Can you turn this way a little bit? Pretty white.
Is where the Constitutional Convention was held. The United States Constitution was made signed in 1787. So this room is considered by many the birthplace of the United States. And I want to kind of show you, I want to point some things out because I'm a very visual person. I think it helps if I know what we're looking at here. We've got 13 tables here representing, of course, the 13 original American colonies. And I'm going to start over here on the north end of the room, and I'm looking south, and that's the way we're going to be working. So it's going to go New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then Georgia right in the south. The smaller table, just over here, this would be for a secretary. I've had multiple secretaries. And they're over here taking notes and counting votes in the ballot box. The main table at the top here for the presiding officer. So many of you heard of John Hancock, he would have been for the Second Continental Congress. And then George Washington was the presiding officer for the Constitutional Convention.
And after that wonderful walk through American history, we'll be back on the road for the next leg of our adventure.